Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another watch-along party. Are you all excited? Woo! It's going to be a Blood Bowl-filled day. Well, or at least like a couple of hours. I'm so pumped. I can't wait. I hope we get some cheerleaders. I am super excited for today's live stream, as you can probably tell. Obviously, yes, I'm hoping for cheerleaders. I specifically want some vampire cheerleaders. Please, Games Workshop, do not disappoint me. However, I'll take also just a new team or anything else going on. That would be lovely. So, because we got about half an hour or so before the actual Twitch stream from Games Workshop begins, I figure we could speculate on what we might actually be seeing today, about what the timelines are going to be. I know we've done this a little bit on some of my other streams, but since we are here and it's the day of the Nova Open, I figured we could speculate even harder and then be either really excited because some of us were correct or really disappointed because a lot of us were wrong. I also have not looked into anything in regards to like leaks recently or anything like that, so this should be a relatively big surprise to me. Also, I just wanted to call out to say hello to everybody who is in chat. Those of you who are lurking, hello to you, but specifically Oliver, Havman, Justin, Daniel, Mogwai. Thank you guys for being in chat, hanging out with me. It's lovely to have you all here. The Age of Sigmar and Blood Bowl miniature reveals. I don't know, like, I can't remember previously what our old timeline for Age of Sigmar might have been to then be able to speculate and anticipate on what we might actually be seeing. Obviously, oh, you know what it probably will be? It's actually probably likely to either be more Stormcast Eternal specifically, because we just had the reveal of some new Skaven models because they won during that Age of Sigmar, like, clash of Stormcast Eternal and the Skaven, and everybody was putting in their, results for their games and everything, and Skaven won that. So, with that in mind, I suspect we'll probably be seeing some Stormcast Eternal. That feels very, very... Oh, Daniel, you asked if I moved back to SF. No, I have never lived in SF specifically, like the city. I've always lived in the East Bay, but I did not move into the city at all. Yeah. I'm about the same distance from the city that I was previously, just in a different way. But yeah, I'm really enjoying the place that I've moved to. It's honestly been lovely. I have hardwood floors, which honestly has just been like a godsend, genuinely. And I used to fight against hardwood floors. I used to think that they were going to be more like tedious or cumbersome to deal with than carpet, but no, I was wrong. And I have seen the way of hardwood floors, and I never want to go back to carpet ever again. Did you, Michael? Well, good. Excellent. That's awesome. Now, in regards to Blood Bowl, because yeah, obviously, I think Stormcast Eternal are definitely going to be what we're seeing, right? You miss Napa? I've never been to Napa, actually. Would love to go. I've heard it's gorgeous. Not a big wine drinker, so I don't know if, like, the wine portion of Napa was really gonna appeal to me. But, I do enjoy a good bed and breakfast, and I like pretty regions of foresty areas, and I believe Napa's relatively forested. So that should be, like, maybe one day. Maybe one day I'll go out to Napa. But yeah, I've never been there. They are the best. They absolutely are. Like, I have been loving the hardwood floors. It's, like, mostly just because I have two cats. You guys probably know this. And they have hairballs because they're both long-haired cats and they shed a lot. And it is so much easier to clean up a hairball on a hardwood floor than it is carpet. Just throwing that out there. I mean, yeah, technically, I do think these are technically, like, laminated. I don't know if it's, like, true hardwood. And the downstairs is definitely, like, laminated tile of some variety. It's not hardwood at all. But regardless, it's uncarpeted. The point is it's great having uncarpeted floor. There's one room in my entire house that has carpet, and it is randomly the closet under the stairwell leading to the upstairs. It's a very large closet. Like, Harry would have been just delighted to have lived in that particular under the stairs closet. But like that's the only place where it's got carpet. And I'm fine with that. I'm totally fine with that. We got gnomes last time for the Blood Bowl teams, which had some delightful goosey creatures. I suspect we're gonna we're not gonna do something cute, I don't think, this time. I feel like we're gonna get something either more edgy or like I just don't think they're gonna go spooky. I want them to go spooky. I love when they go spooky. But I don't know if it would be good for them to actually go spooky. Welcome, Artur from Brazil. It's very hard to find GW minis for you in Brazil. I can imagine, I can't imagine that they ship a lot out there. And when they do, it's, I don't know, or do you guys have the problem, like, when you do get them where it's, like, super, super delayed in the same way that, like, Australia, New Zealand often gets super delayed? Oh my god, I hadn't even considered Khemri reveal. Oh, and that would be spooky. Saurus blood. Dude, I hope you're right. Chaos Dwarves would also be great. Kislev would also be really cool. I do think Kislev would be very neat to see for Blood Bowl. But oh my god, Khemri. Oh, that's such a great idea. Oh, that is such a great idea. Is there a Tzeentch Blood Bowl team? Surely there must be, right? You know, now that you say that, I don't know if there's a specific Tzeentch team. Like, there's definitely Chaos. And there is a Nurgle specific one. And a Khorne specific one. Is there Slaanesh specific? I don't think there is. They would just be naked. That's probably why they don't do it. Balls would be shoved in weird places. So maybe that's why they don't do Slaanesh. But, yeah, I don't know if we've gotten a Tzeentch team. No Tzeentch team? Okay, dang. Yeah, that's a missed opportunity. Imagine, like, the Zangors, is that what they're called? The bird guys? That'd be so cool. Oh, man, I can't wait for this to start. We have over 15 minutes still. There is not a specific Tzeentch team or Slaanesh team. Okay. Really? Never? They've never done that? That's really surprising to me. The Slaanesh I get. Like, they don't like to touch Slaanesh very often. Especially when there's opportunities for Slaanesh to be goofy, because then they're worried about being perverted goofy and they just can't handle themselves. They just don't know how to deal with it. But I'm really surprised that there's not a Tzeentch team. I feel like maybe because Tzeentch is time manipulation, they're like, how is that going to fit into the game? Like, we don't want them to thematically be able to, like, slow time or anything like that. So how do we, like, make them actually thematically appropriate beyond just aesthetics? Maybe it's a mechanical thing. More blue horrors just hand them. Exactly. Like, imagine that would be so fun. It'd be so complicated to do in the game, like in the context of the actual game, though. Slaanesh cheerleaders would be the best. They would be amazing. They'd also just be naked, though. They wouldn't like. They'd have their pom-poms, and they'd be like pink and purple fire. But they wouldn't like. They just wouldn't have clothes on. That's why they will never do it. Khemri would be great. Like, genuinely, I would love to see a skeleton team. That would also be so easy to paint. Imagine how easy to paint that would be, because it'd just be like bone white. Nice quick skeleton horde wash, and then whatever you want to do for the armor. Do they kind of have, do they do the, like, the demonettes with their little tongues? Like, that's what I imagine. I want the, what I really want it to be is I want it to be a sexy version of the, that mount that the Slaanesh riders have, like the lizard serpentine thing. But, like, on its hind legs and be, like, really grotesque, but, like, done up in a sexy sort of way, because it's a cheerleader. Oh, no, I pulled out one of my ribbons. No! It's fine. That's bound to happen. It's bound to happen. Oh, I should check and see how many total people we have. I always like to see, because the watch-alongs obviously are a much more popular stream. What am I doing? I need to go to YouTube. Might go to my channel. Nice, there's 52 of you. Hello, everybody. Hello, and welcome to the watch-along stream. Hopefully, Games Workshop will get started soon. Somehow you feel like there could be a Chaos Blood Bowl team, but they should always be a combination of two gods. That was what that would be the gimmick. You know, I could see that. It's very interesting because I know Khorne and Nurgle have both gotten Blood Bowl teams, but then again, they're the easiest to do mechanically in Blood Bowl. I wonder if, I'm really curious if we're going to see anything other than just the Stormcast Eternal for Age of Sigmar. Because I feel like some people may be a little disappointed if it's just purely the poster children for the brand. I wonder if we'll end up seeing either some also additional Skaven models just to continue to build hype for the Skaven Tide, or not Skaven Tide, what do they call it?
Call what?
Oh, the box for the... Is that what it called? What was the recent box that they released with the Stormcast Eternal and Skaven? Was it Skaven Tide? It may have been. They like to use that word quite regularly, but like... Question. I know the Blood Bowl video game has a 1, 2, and 3. Does the board game have different versions, or does it just keep adding new teams? No, the board game version does also have different versions. I believe they are on 2nd edition. Or, yeah, I think that we have the box downstairs. I want to say it says...
It's season 2.
It's season 2. I don't remember if that means it's also 2nd edition, or if it's like 3rd edition season 2, or what. But yes, there are different editions of Blood Bowl. They have done it multiple times. Was it Skaven Tide? Okay, that makes sense. New Thousand Suns for 40k would be nice, Daniel. I don't think we're going to see any 40k models, but we'll get announcements at least of the roadmap. So we'll be able to find out like what the next codex is to come out, therefore the next and possibly anticipated new models to be expecting as the year continues on and we go into 2025. Yes, we're in 2024. Honestly, I think the Stormcast look like better versions of Blood Angels in regards to comparing them to the most recent sculpts for some of the Blood Angel models. Because honestly, they have more going on them than some of those models do. I'm so, like, legitimately and unironically disappointed that there are not nipple designs on some of their armor. Like, it was iconic to their look, and it's now gone, let alone the fact that the wings are gone. Good evening, Frank. Welcome to the stream. Hope you're having a good day. I hope you also are going to get a reveal of the wolves on this timeline and roadmap, Ryan. I know you've been hoping, and I really expect to find out something about the wolves going forward. I feel like of all of the like major loyalist Space Marine factions, we've had the majority of them covered who are like the top popularity, except for the wolves. So I really feel like they're due. It makes me sad as well, Red Panda. I think a lot of the Blood Angel fans are disappointed. Like, at least a lot of the old school Blood Angels fans seem to be disappointed. I know that there have been people who have argued with me that they very much like the new ones. And I'm like, that's great. I'm glad that you do. I still don't like them, and you can respect that too. It really is very disappointing to me, the new designs. Like, I don't have any desire to pick them up. Which is a shame, because normally when Blood Angels stuff released, I was always like, yeah, Blood Angels! Fuck yeah, I'm gonna buy it even if I'm not doing anything with them right now, because Blood Angels! And I look at them and I have zero energy towards them. except for loathing. And that's disappointing. That's really disappointing. Oh, are we in 4th edition? Okay, I couldn't remember because I remember that they like called it season 2 or whatever on the box, and they made a really big deal about the season 2, but I knew it wasn't 2nd edition, or at least I was like 80% confident that it wasn't.
Drop your microphone to -4.
One moment.
You're good. You can keep talking while you do.
All right, sorry, there we go. Is that better?
Yeah.
Okay. I was peeking a lot, wasn't I?
Yep.
My bad. I got aggressive. BE aggressive. Alrighty. But yeah, I know they look so plain. It's so disappointing. It's super, super disappointing. The blah angels, I mean, that makes sense. They are kind of just blah when you look at them. So I don't blame you for that at all. Oh my god, I know! A lot of the recent Joy Toy models have been looking super, super cool. I do hope that maybe they spontaneously send me some again, because they always, it's like I have a working relationship of sorts with Joy Toy. They occasionally send me a big box of things, and I have like a whole set that I need to finish unboxing and actually displaying in the wargaming room, which is very much coming together. I actually did some work on that today, and I really like the way that it's coming together. However, we still need to buy the shelf that the Joy Toy action figures are going to go on. And one day I will buy that Dreadnought, or not the Dreadnought, the Grey Knight Dreadnought. I want it. I want it so badly. It's huge, and I just want to like touch it and lift it up like a baby. I have thought about that. I have thought about playing a Joy Toy scale kill team battle.
We have the models, we just don't have the terrain.
Yeah, the problem is we don't have the terrain really to support that. Although we could just like make some like cardboard terrain to scale or something. Like it does. But yeah, like I've really considered that because I definitely have enough between some of the Space Marines as well as the No, it's definitely not Kislev. Kriegsguardsmen.
You okay?
Yeah, what is their full title? Deathcore Krieg. Oh my god, I was like, my brain was just dying so hard on that word, and I was like, I need to get this out correctly because I'm stumbling all over it. You want to Bjorn the Fell-handed in a Joy Toy action figure? I'm sure they're gonna do that if they haven't already. The Horus Heresy roadmap should be pretty cool. OBS is disconnecting and reconnecting. I think I'm okay?
Yeah, let it reconnect.
Okay, it reconnected successfully. I think we're okay.
Okay, I think, once again, your computer just has something with its Wi-Fi. I need to check its drivers.
I do know that I need to do some updates, and I never remember how to do that, so yes. Can you help me do that, like, later tonight or tomorrow morning or something?
Yep.
Okay, because, yeah, I know I've gotten a notice that I need to update some drivers, but I don't know, I'd never remember where to do it.
Okay.
You've played Joy Toy Scale Space Hulk?
That could work.
That sounds fun! I need to get some of the Tyranids in order to be able to successfully do that, because I don't have any of the Tyranid Joy Toys. But, yeah, that would be really cool. You know what I want them to do? I realize now that they haven't done anything for Death Guard. I want them to do Death Guard. I want a Plague Marine. I guess they really haven't done much for most of the Chaos, except for Black Legion. Oh, thank you so much. If they announce Plastic Custodes for Horus Heresy, you'll scream. I will scream with you, Oliver, and we can break everybody's eardrums. It'll be great. You'll be able to hear me from the US. Excellent. Excellent. The Old World roadmap will also be really cool. Warriors of Chaos implied... Oh, I haven't actually read the interview with them, but I really do look forward to seeing what we're getting because I like seeing those old models come back. Let's see. We're about 10 minutes out. Have they started? We don't need their chat. Refresh. There we go. We don't need to listen to your ad, but it looks like they have started. So let's go ahead and get in there. Yeah, okay, we're in the, I was making sure, I was checking chat to make sure we were actually in the right stream. What is your idea for Warhammer romance? Like, you mean like, oh, let me know also. Do we have sound? Okay, yes, we do. Let me know how they're sounding when they get started. Like, are you talking like, as in like an idea for like, if they were to write a romance novel set in Warhammer? Or, like... Is that what you mean? Because... I mean, I could think of some things, but I feel like that would go into the NC-17 rated type of content that they may not want to touch. There's no romance in 40k, just stem cells. Okay, that is absolutely hilarious, and I agree. There really isn't romance very often in 40k, unfortunately. There's like, you get a bunch of it in fantasy, but not in 40k. I mean, I feel like it would have to do, like, if you want to be really, really cheesy with it, you would want, like... Okay, honestly, if I was going to legitimately do romance in the Warhammer 40k or 30k verse, I would have it set in the Horus Heresy period. And I would definitely have it be with, like, a Space Marine would end up falling romantically for one of the remembrancers or something like that. I feel like they've implied a little bit of that in the past in some of the novels. Like, I feel like it's been implied that there have been, like, emotional connections that could lean platonically romantic between the remembrancers and some of the, or like humans rather, in Space Marines. But I feel like that's where you would have to take it if you weren't just focusing on like something Xeno or something specifically Chaos, which would then get into the lustier, you know, inappropriate, children definitely can't be looking at this kind of stuff. And I don't know if they would be willing to actually go there. I mean, listen, we all know Space Marines smash Eldar. At least we all can hope. Yeah, see, I feel like that's what they've implied. I feel like GW has, in the books, allowed the authors to imply that some of these Space Marines, in fact, have had mildly flirty relationships with some of their navigators, other humans on the crew. But they've really never dived into it, and I would love if they did. Like, I actually think that'd be very, very cool. I don't know if I'm actually familiar with Messadine and Loken's romance-ish. Or Mercedai. Oh my god, an Inquisitor and Genestealer romcon would be absolutely hilarious. I also would take a rom-com with, like, a zealot from each of the 4 Chaos Gods all living together and having romantic relationships there. Oh, Mercedes? Is that the character's name? You want to see the clone Fulgrim with his chapter, The Sons of Phoenixes? Are you talking like in a romance sort of way or just in the show? Because Oh, Mercedes, but no S. Got it.
My name is Adam.
Hello,
Welcome
Adam.
to the Nova Preview Show. Today's show is going to be a little different to our usual previews. Instead of focusing specifically on upcoming miniatures, we're going to be giving you a little insight into the future of loads of your favourite games and settings. We'll even be joined by some of the talented people from the Warhammer studio to give you the inside scoop. So, whether you're a fan of the grim darkness of Warhammer 40,000, a daring traveller in the mortal realms of Warhammer Age of Sigmar, or you're engaged in any of our other systems,
Let me know how they sound.
prepare to be delighted.
Hello,
Let's dive
Demon
right
Ranger. This is some Blood Bowl. Yeah! Oh! Chaos Dwarves! And also goblins. Are we getting a new box set? Who called Chaos Dwarves? There was definitely somebody in chat who called Chaos Dwarves. Demon Ranger, I am doing great. We're jumping straight into this, by the way. I love it. I love it. Give me all of the Blood Bowl.
Hi, welcome back everyone. I'm joined now by Jay
Yes.
and Dan, and we're going to talk about those amazing Chaos Dwarves.
Yes, let's talk about the Chaos Dwarves.
Loads of new things that even though I'm familiar with Blood Bowl and with Chaos Dwarfs, I'm not familiar with what they are. So maybe you can talk us through them.
I love. They should have the tallest of hats.
We thankfully got the return.
I
of
love the
Hobgoblin lineman,
goblins.
humble Hobgoblin lineman there to do all of the.
You want a harem anime with Trazen? You know what? I love it. I love it. I
Punch,
approve.
Move the ball around the field, that kind of thing. But we've also got a new Chaos Dwarf positioner. We've got the Hobgoblin Sneaky Stabber, and they fulfil the role of sort of hired cut men and assassins. So they're going to follow important players around and stick the knife in when
They're
they're
so
not looking.
cute.
Amazing, awesome. That's an exciting opportunity to see something new for the Hobgoblins that have purely just been there to get punched and.
Yeah, it gives a chance for the Hobgoblins to find a little bit of the limelight. You know, they're never going to outstage the Chaos Dwarves themselves, but sometimes goblins have great designs of grandeur and this ideal of them becoming stars of Blood Bowl, but we know who the stars of Blood Bowl are, and when it comes to the Chaos Dwarf teams, it's the Chaos Dwarfs.
Speaking of the Chaos Dwarfs then, Jay, two different types of Chaos Dwarfs within the set by the look of it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Ooh.
So we've got the Classic Chaos Dwarf blocker. They are
Tall hat.
badder than ever.
He does look
some
great.
lovely new miniatures, big hats, horns.
Oh, look at the
By Chaos
beard.
Dwarf.
It's so
There's also the
good.
Chaos Dwarf
I also
Fangs,
really enjoy the fangs.
which are these brand new positionals. They use like alchemical solutions, which they'll drink to spit fire.
Oh, he
at
is
their,
drinking
at their
out of
position.
like a little
something, you know, the Chaos
pot
Dwarves,
or
they love
something.
their
That's
fire.
cool.
It's a big thing for them, but it gives them a chance to potentially knock down opposition players, even injure them. But there's also that chance that maybe they drink a little bit too much, it goes a little bit wrong, and it might engulf them in flame instead.
Oh man,
so yeah,
that's
so we've
fun.
got
I
two
was
different
reading.
types of Chaos Dwarf through that
I was
as well.
looking at the
Incredible.
rules for my
All of those
Bloodthirsters
four positions there
today, and the vampires' bloodthirst
I also
ability
saw a
is
horror
gonna
from my
be
childhood. I remember
fun.
getting mauled by a bull centaur. My friend Henry used to play on me all the time, and the bull centaur is back.
Yes, the Bull Centaur is back in new Forge World resin kit.
I didn't
There's
see the
2
Bull
miniatures in the
Centaur.
kit, absolutely stunning.
Oh, we saw his
miniatures, and
legs.
Any Chaos Dwarf player worth their salt is going to want to pick these up alongside the plastic box to add a little bit more punch.
Oh,
and a
look
bit more
how
speed to their
jockey
Chaos
he
Dwarf
is.
roster.
Incredible. So speaking of sort of that punch and speed, there's obviously some new tactics in the offing for the.
I wonder how
the Chaos Dwarf
fast
team.
they
Jay,
are,
what
because
can
they
we
have
expect to see,
goblins, which
from
are
the
tend to
Chaos
be a
Dwarfs
little
on the
faster.
gridiron?
Yeah,
But
so we've
dwarves
taken
tend to be
the
really
opportunity
slow,
not just
so I'm
to update
wondering what the
miniatures,
balance
but
of
also
speed on this team
update
is.
the skills and the tactics that you can use with them during the course of a game. So your Chaos Dwarf blockers feel very similar to how they used to, but they also have Ironhard skin, as all Chaos Dwarfs now do. And that is a chance for us to update that mutation.
Oh
and
my
that skill
god, a
from the core
Christmas-themed
book,
Chaos
make it
Dwarf
more
team would be
useful, and
amazing.
it now allows your Chaos
That would
Dwarfs to ignore
actually
any
be
modifiers to their
legitimately
armor roll.
amazing. I'm gonna
So
see.
it's not just ignoring claws,
I'm gonna
it'll
turn that
ignore
light on. I'm
blow, anything
getting a little
like that
dark.
as well.
The sun's going
It's
down.
Sort of to represent them sort of turning to stone slightly through the use of their dark magics. The Flamesmith is great for, like I said, you know, setting fire to people. Hopefully not themselves, but there's a chance for them to knock down opposition players. Your Sneaky Stabbers have got stab, so there's a good chance that they can run in, you know, take someone out with low armor, and then move on as well. But that's that's kind of how they play. They're very much still a
Oh, is that
puncher
how
up
they
front.
were
You've still
in,
got a little bit of speed with your bull centaurs.
the
and your
average of 7?
hobgoblins
Okay, I wonder if they're
score a
any
few
different
touchdowns.
now.
I think they're going to be a real terror on the gridiron, and I can't wait to see how people sort of take to them and put them across in leagues and tournaments.
Sounds awesome.
I really actually look forward to seeing them go into leagues, simply because I feel like
horror
aesthetically
stories
they
of
could be
getting
really
beaten
fun
up
to
by
play
chaos
with,
dwarfs. So this all sounds
color-wise.
suitably frightening, and also relying on a tree man to punch all the chaos dwarfs is going to be less reliable than ever.
Yeah, absolutely.
Shocking. Okay, well, while I reel from that, all of this information is obviously contained within the new Spike Journal, issue 18. Dan, what can we expect in the new Spike Journal?
So anyone who's read a Spike Journal before will have some background diving into what the Chaos Dwarves are in the world of Blood Bowl, and some famous teams that we've seen on the gridiron, including the infamous Hobgoblin team, for those fans who have been around for a while. We'll also see 3-star player spotlights covering some of the biggest names in Chaos Dwarf Blood Bowl, as well as I say, those returning fixtures. We've got a chat with the Rat. We've got.
I mean, normally those kinds of smaller, disposable type of units are really
Thanks, Jay
cheap.
and Dan, for coming down and telling us
when
all
you're
about
building
the
your
Chaos Dwarfs.
teams.
It's all really exciting. I can't wait to see him on the gridiron, although a little bit nervous. For the rest of us, we're going to come back in a moment.
The
in Mortal
Wolfenburg
Realms,
Crypt
where we're
Stealers? That
gonna
sounds
look at the
amazing.
Aftermath of the Hell Crown with some new Stormcast Eternal releases.
Ooh, okay, so I was right. We are getting some new
Hope has
Stormcast
turned
Eternal.
to ruin as the Skaven proved too strong for the noble Stormcast Eternals. Hellcrown may have fallen, but Sigmar's mighty warriors will soon return to save the mortal realms, reforged to fight another day.
I like the terrain piece. Ooh! Ooh! Why the fuck does he get cool wings and the Blood Angels lost theirs? Games Workshop! What are you doing? God, these look sick though. This is what I mean. Like, these guys legitimately look better than the modern Blood Angels, and it pisses me off. Not because I don't think these guys should look amazing, they should, but the Blood Angels should be done right. Oh my god, shit, that is great! I love any character on a large winged creature. I love it. That looked amazing.
Welcome
Also,
back
they're
to
just
join us
slamming
on
it
that
at us,
call
aren't
from the
they? They're just
Warhammer
like,
Age
here
of
you
Sigmar
go.
team.
Here
Talk
they
about
all
the
are.
Aftermath of the Hell Crown experience. Welcome, Matt. Welcome, Phil.
Thanks. Great to be
Lovely
here.
to have you join me. So, with the slaughter at Hell Crown concluded, and the Skaven running roughshod across the city, we've got a chance to look at all the new Stormcast Eternal releases that are coming. I wonder if we can just start.
So
from the top
much
and talk
better
about
than
the
the
new
Inquisitor.
Stormstrike Paladors.
These are epic cavalry.
Look-
They're
look
really
how
fast,
sick
they hit
these
hard.
things look.
They have
They're
a certain
epic.
way of essentially getting retribution for their
I've actually
fallen,
never
so these
wanted
are
Stormcast
counter-strike
Eternal
in a way.
more
Yeah, absolutely.
than
And
seeing
this
like
is
these
really giving
particular
that
models.
kind
They
of
look
core,
so cool.
hard-hitting heavy cavalry to the Stormcast Eternals. And as Phil said, you know, they have this kind of ride for vengeance, effectively.
I am also a
whereas other
sucker for
warriors have
literally
fallen,
anything
you know,
on
they're
cavalry,
really that
though. I
second
love
wave that's gonna
cavalry
come
units.
Smash through into the enemy.
There's a reason I
devastating
bought the
charge.
Bretonnian box
They're
set.
really fun to use on the tabletop.
Or countercharge if
Or
you
countercharge,
spend the command
absolutely.
points
Yeah,
for
yeah,
it.
yeah.
So yeah, they're a really great late game attack that will cinch victory for you.
That sounds amazing. And we also saw some fantastic character models. My favourite, I've always loved the new Lord Relictor model.
Oh yes, yeah. Well, these go way back, don't
That-
they? I mean,
that
we saw
Lord
the first
Relictor
one back in
just
the
looks
Realm
like
Gate
he
with
should
all
be a
of Irish
chaplain.
Pitborn. Essentially,
I love this guy.
Formed these ruination chambers. Lord Relictors are kind of like the spiritual guardians
So good.
of the Stormcast, and so they have a.
They
profound
do
effect
have
on the
amazing
warriors
head
around
options.
them,
I
and they
completely
really
agree.
piece of mean in a fight as well.
Yeah, and you know, they just give you that really great core, reliable priest.
Why
unit.
is that, Ryan? Why are you a
Priests
little
obviously very,
worried
very
for
powerful
the
in the new edition of Age of
extremist
Sigmar, the way they
chambers?
can build up rituals
They're
over
Kothian
multiple
Guard.
turns. And this is kind of one of the strongest core infantry priest characters across almost any faction.
Sounds awesome.
I love
And
the way
sort of
these guys
morbid
look.
imagery on them. It's so good.
Yeah, of course.
On a similar vein, there's a new Lord Terminus miniature. And what can you tell us about Lord Terminus and their role within the Stormcast Eternals?
Oh, you were right to say sort of morbid imagery. These guys are really the final point of the of a lot of Stormcast journey. Happens.
Have you
very
seen
rarely,
did you
but
see the
these
Stormcast
guys
Eternal
can
miniatures?
Occasionally set the
They're
Stormcast
sick
out
looking.
away
I
from
love
their
the guys on the
process of
Griffins.
living,
Or the
fighting, being
Hippogriffs.
reborn over and over again. But yes, they're also pretty good at taking off the enemy's heads with their two-handed axes as well. which is, I mean, nothing's going to leave a mark.
Got it.
Oh yeah. And
Okay, I didn't realize that that's who the Draconian Guard were.
Brand new
That makes
Ruination
sense.
Chamber, which is now expanding with a few more options to bring into play.
You segue beautifully into great new Reclusian models.
Because of this new
God,
kit,
they look
you can now
so
have a great variety.
badass.
You could actually feel.
That's how you
just
do a
the
Halo,
Ruination
by the
Chamber.
way.
Especially, yeah,
That's
especially
how
with
you
some
do
of
a
the-
Halo.
Some of the models we're talking about and will continue to talk about.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know,
I think
Ruination Chamber is
some of
really
them
being
do,
fleshed
some of them
out
do not.
As you know, a really fully fledged chamber with interesting synergies within it, interesting abilities, and you know, the Reclusians form one of the core elite units.
They're your rank and file of the Ruination Chamber, but each
I
one of
love
them
the
is
way
the
that they're
elite
painting
level.
up
Really high,
the Age of
elite
Sigmar
warrior.
miniatures
And they
modernly.
come with the memoriams,
They look
those
so
are almost
sick.
like their squires who are there to remind them of what it is to be human.
Such a great image, isn't it?
Yeah, it really is. And it gives great scale. You can see just how big and powerful a Stormcast is.
You know, one of the common threads that'll apply to all of the Ruination Chamber units is that incredible resistance, right? They've been through so much, they've been reforged so many times. They're going into just the absolute worst, most devastating, most deadly places. You know, whether it's enemy spells or prayers or abilities or debuffs or, you know, different things. They kind of have this ability, unlike any other units in the game, to kind of shrug that off and keep going.
It's a really nice point of the lore and the rules on the tabletop sort of coinciding to
Yeah,
give you the right feel. That sounds awesome.
Pretty sure he said lore,
talking
not
perhaps,
law there, subtitles,
the other
but
end
it's
of
fine.
the Stormcast spectrum, we've got a new Lord Celestant, fantastic new miniature with great new options.
Core infantry commander, you know, really works well.
I love the
Fight
lion
back,
on the shoulder.
with different units, opens up
Sick.
a lot of builds, and you know, it's just a great.
They really did
option
go
for
hard on these guys.
That kind of general on foot
I mean,
archetype to go in and lead your forces.
I love it. Whenever
The
I build my
Stormcast Eternal
Stormcast Eternal
are
unit,
the poster children
I
of Age of
see myself
Sigmar.
as the Lord
They always
Celestant in
have
the
been.
ranks.
They always will be, in the
Absolutely,
same way
yeah.
that the
That's
Space
important.
Marines are supposed to be the
General
poster
view on
children
the
of
battlefield, right?
Yeah,
40K.
exactly. I think that's
And always will be.
As well. And
Well,
as you said,
right.
lots of
And always
lots of
have
fun
been.
options, and you kind of just customize it.
But I
to
feel
really
like-
make your own.
I feel
own
like
cells.
It's fantastic.
Games Workshop has gotten a little bit
Speaking of
lazy
sort of
when it comes to their
characters and
Space
things
Marine
that have,
designs because they've
existed
gotten
around since that first
they've
iteration.
gone a
I'm
combination
learning
of
way back in
extremely
time about
World of
Tor Blood, and
Warcraft
he's been on a
with
journey,
its
and we now have
bubbly.
Taunus the Redeemed.
Oh,
Just
this
an
is the guy.
incredible looking
God,
miniature.
he's sick
Looks
looking.
like
I
a
love those
Taunus.
wings.
So Taunus
Why
is a really interesting
can't the
character because
Blood
as you
Angels
say,
have those
comes from
wings?
Early Realmgate Wars, really. He's one of the first characters we got to know.
Why?
His backstory, as you intimated,
Tell me
Thor
why.
Once upon a time. Was,
And don't give me a
as
bullshit answer,
farmer,
Games
he was
Workshop.
defending his village against Nurgle, and he fought so hard and he held out for so long, but eventually Nurgle got him. But he was redeemed by Galmaraz, so there was still a bit of goodness in him. They reforged that into Taunus the Redeemed. We've seen his character evolve even more, and he is now a leader of the Ruination Chamber. He's put aside his personal vendettas
looks so cool.
for the good of his brothers and his.
I was on our
become
mid
a
rant
Knight
and
of Zero
I
to take
I
the
got
life of
distracted by the
Sigmar
miniature.
to guide the lost. So he's had a really interesting
Oh,
story arc,
right.
that guy.
Stormcast Eternal. They're the poster
All
children
that
of
good redemption.
GW's
Fantastic
Age of
journey.
Sigmar product
The
line.
kit doesn't
It
just
makes sense that
make
they're going
Taurus
to put
Redeemed,
in
but
a
also
lot of
makes
effort
a
to make those
standard
models
Knight
look
of
cool.
Zeros,
I
is that right?
wish they
Yeah,
were
absolutely.
actually doing that or
The
felt
standard,
like they were
Knight
doing
of
that
Zeros
because they
has a
might
little bit
be.
more synergy
I'm not
directly
saying
with
necessarily
the
these
prosecutors,
designers
you
who
know,
are
kind of
designing these
flying
new
in and
40k
supporting
models
them
aren't
that
putting in
way. So
effort.
both really fun.
Because I'm certain
options.
that they
I love
are.
the,
But
I love Taurus's
somewhere
whole arc and just seeing that realized on
in the
tabletop,
like
is really fun.
So,
communication
obviously, Taurus
line
and the Knight of Zeros,
and
they
the
can get around nice
approval
and quick, but
line
my experience
for
of my
the
Stormcast
models
Stellar
that the
is a little
40k
bit
guys
slower
are
on
designing
feet.
versus the Age of
That's where
Sigmar
the
ones are
Stormreach
designing. I
portal
feel like Age of
comes in,
Sigmar
right?
has
Yeah,
so much
absolutely.
more
So
like,
this is a complete
hey,
building
we'd like
set.
to
It's in
greeble
the
up
Azerite Art Deco
these
style.
models really
A
heavily and
massive,
make them like
great,
elaborate
powerful thing.
and somebody's
this
going
has
like,
been
yeah,
built
that's
by the
great.
Stormcast
They
and
want to do
their-
the same
and
thing in
their
40k
aides,
and they're like, no,
Memorians,
smooth
to
them out,
essentially act
reduce
as a kind
that,
of a battery of
take
storm
that
power
shit away.
that enables them to get
And it's
essentially
really
teleport,
disappointing.
really, in blurs
This
of lightning.
terrain piece
So what
is
the
sick.
Stormreach portal opens up kind of for the first time.
I like when we
is
get like
having that
cool
option to hold some of your
unique
troops
looking
back,
spaces
defend
that are
that
like
home
specific to a
territory,
faction.
and then go through that portal in order to deep strike.
It's awesome.
In deep into the battlefield later on in the game.
The game has a lot of movement aspects to it. Claiming objectives is huge. So, yeah, I think you're going to enjoy it.
Oh, that's awesome. So the showstopper for this set of
See, I think they were
Stormcast
always very
releases has to be
sci-fi
Imperial
because they
Number
do
Wings.
rely
Can you
on
fill us
like
in on what they're about.
science
absolutely.
to explain
This is the
how their
first Stormcast
technology
to ever
works
take
a little bit
another
more than, say,
Stormcast
like
life, which is
Star Wars
obviously a
such, which I
huge
would
deal.
definitely consider
They couldn't stand to
science
see their
fantasy.
brother-in-arm suffer anymore. And that poor unfortunate was pleading for an end. And
It's the
Tyrion gave
grimdark
it
that
to
they're
them
losing
with,
that's causing the
essentially
problem.
magic
They're trying to
axe,
remove all
and
of the
that has given
grimdark
them the gift of
elements off
oblivion.
of the
Now,
models.
Sigmar wanted an answer. as to
Is
why
like the
that
best way
happened,
that I can
and
describe
ended up
it.
Talking to Sigmar
And that's why they're
himself about
removing, I
this,
feel like, all the
and
embellishments,
pleaded
and
their
it's
case
just
so eloquently and so well that actually it is now a formally recognised thing that can happen in the Ruination Chambers, and the Order of the Lord Terminos has come to be.
Yeah, I
as a result
agree.
of
They
it.
aren't the most
They
popular
keep
faction
the
in
memories
AOS,
and the
despite them
sagas
being the
and
poster
war
children
histories
for
of
the
all
product, which
those
I
that
actually
they
think
have to
works
end.
to their advantage.
They're very
I think it
responsible,
allows
they
them
rarely,
to come out with really
but
cool,
in a way they are a moral
edgier
compass for
designs
the
like they
Ruination
have
Chambers.
been to entice people
Naturally,
back into
they bring
them.
vengeance to chaos on their great Morgriff as well, striking like a bolt from the blue. So we've got a really great active character joining the.
It helps
Stormcast
also
team.
that
That's bleak and awesome. No, the kit has a separate.
Games
component,
Workshop
right?
legitimately
Absolutely.
speaks
So you can also build
of the
this
Stormcast
kit as
Eternal a little bit
Lord
more
vigilant on Morgriff as
like I
well.
know that they have their
And that gives
different
you two really different
like
kind of roles on the
sub-factions
battlefield.
within the
You know,
Stormcast
the
Eternal.
Lord
I
Vigilant,
can't remember now
as with
again what they're
the
called.
Lord
I know we
Vigilant in the
discussed this
Escaping
at one
Planet
point
starter
recently.
set, this time with a much bigger map, is your kind of classic commander.
I don't
for
remember
your
what it was, but
Ruination
one of you
Chamber.
guys can like
Also,
correct me on what like the
formidable fighter
Stormcast
and
like
a lot of speed with the Morgriff. going around the
chapters are
battlefield.
basically called.
Whereas Iridan the Witness,
But
is a
they still
priest,
kind of
first of all,
reference them
as we talked about,
a little bit
always
more
into
as a
youthful archetype,
cohesive
really a
like
lot of
faction.
prayer,
Whereas I feel like
abilities that they
in
can use,
40K
and has more
they
of a
actually
support
refer to
role,
them more as
for the
their
army as a
like
whole, while
chapters
being certainly no
in a
slouch
way
in
than they
combat.
do
Awesome.
Space
That
Marines
sounds,
as a collective
just
whole.
Incredible. Well, look,
Mostly because they've
it's been
split them
amazing
into
having you guys
chaos
come
and
sort of
non-chaos,
fill me
like
in and everybody
loyalist.
here in on
Maybe
all
that's part
these,
of why they
outstanding
treat
new
it that
Stormcast
way, but it's
releases.
definitely a
Thank you
different
for coming in.
approach.
Coming up next, we'll be joined by Ben
So
from
weird.
the Warhammer Age of Sigmar team to talk about the future roadmap. So,
Roadmap.
Ben, it's obviously been a really big
Roadmap
year for
time.
Sigmar. What are the highlights been for you throughout the year?
I think the highlights for me it's the Dawnbringer of Crusade and those build-up books that took us into Skaven
he's so
Tide, a brand
cool.
new edition, and in particular, personally for me,
I
Spear.
really like the big models
It's
in Age of
such a
Sigmar.
great
All of them
game,
look
and it's
sick.
been
They're
so
just
well received
like
by
the rat guy's
everybody.
cool,
Everybody's
the Stormcast
playing
Eternal
it.
guy's
All of my
cool,
gaming groups
the big
are
ghoul
I've just come
guy
back
for
from a
the
weekend at a friend's
vampires
where
is
we played 10
cool. Like
games
they're all
on a
rad.
Saturday and a Sunday. It's
Amazing.
just great format.
Stormhost, thank you,
I don't have a
Stormhost.
single
That's what it
one.
was.
I have a few that I play. So I've just booked into an event actually where you can bring 5 different ones and play 5 games throughout the event and then
Oh, wow.
aggregate your scores. Yeah,
That's awesome. I can't stop looking at the Gloomspite Gits at the moment.
they're a lot of fun because they've got a bit of everything. They've got some infantry, some heavy guys with the rot guts, and then they've got the speed with the Boingrots as well.
I've never painted like Gits en masse either. So I feel like it's luring. Anyway, I know you've been hard at work. You and your team
Yeah,
working on
Tom,
lots
you're
of stuff
completely
for
right.
Battlefront. Can you
The
tell us a
art
little bit about
direction
that?
for AOS has
Yeah,
been
so
really
Battlefront is a
strong. And
really
again,
good
I think
project
that's
in the
partially
studio,
because,
we've tried
and this
to
is,
look
was
at
my
them
complaint
from front
against
to back,
40K.
to make them,
They don't stick to their
visually
design
different,
Bibles anymore.
a lot more content
Like
in
they're
there from a
or they're
background and a rules point of
changing
view
their
for
design
photography as
Bible,
well,
which is
really hard
dramatically
to make
changing
them,
the
really
look of their
exciting. And
miniatures.
hopefully they make you feel
And
like
I
it's
think
the
it's
first book you've
detrimental,
ever bought, that feeling you get back again.
overall.
Awesome.
Can we also
So
just
not
appreciate
visual,
the
but there's gonna be
delightful
new lore and new rules and things as well.
Yeah,
death
so there's new lore, obviously the Age of Sigmar
chaos spell
storyline
thing that's
progresses
next to him on the
we tell you new
couch
things
that
have
I just
happened,
saw for the first time.
since the
Holy shit, I
Escaping
want
Tide
that
and the
so
Burn
badly.
Doom, and how that has impacted.
Do they
particularly
sell
Skaven,
that?
the
Where
Stormcast
can I get
Eternals,
one?
but
I
also
need
lots
it.
of little new nuggets based on all the new miniatures as well.
Sounds incredible. Thank you. So we've
That's
talked
adorable.
a little about Skaven and about the Stormcast Eternals. What does the rest of 2024 look like?
Oh, so it's packed. So we've got a new Chaos Battle Tome on the way. And a new narrative book as well, which
So Chaos Battle
very
Tome
much
narrative
like
book.
the General's Handbook, but for narrative play. So a must buy, I think, for people.
So you're looking to sort of have those really thematic games that link together. That's
right,
the one
yeah.
for you.
Yeah.
Outstanding. So that's 2024. Obviously, 2025 is rushing in on us. What can you tell us about a glimpse of the future?
More battle tomes, more spearheads, starting with destruction and then
Nice.
death. So the fans of those Grand Alliances have got a lot to look forward to.
Adchef,
Awesome. That
you
sounds great.
have
Thank you so much
missed
for hanging
the
around
Blood Bowl
and
Chaos
filling us
Dwarf
in
team
on like a
reveal.
roadmap for the future. That's
We got a
awesome.
look
The rest
at
of you,
a
don't go
ton
anywhere. We'll
of
be right
brand
back.
new, very
Warhammer
cool
40,000
looking
back.
Stormcast Eternal for Age of Sigmar, and they just were talking about the Age of Sigmar timeline timeline.
We're joined now by Stu from the Warhammer
And now we're going to
40,000
talk about the
studio team.
Warhammer
Stu's here
40k
to tell us a little
timeline.
bit
So
about the
for all of
Warhammer
you
40,000
hoping for
roadmap the
wolves,
future.
let's
Talk a
go.
little bit about what's happened so far this year. Welcome, Stu. Thank you for joining us.
It's always a pleasure.
Looking back at the year so far, it's been an amazing year for Warhammer 40,000. What are the highlights?
So there's so many to choose from, isn't there?
Right.
So I think we're about 8 codexes this year, I think.
Been a busy time.
Yeah, it certainly has. The Dark Angels.
The best of all of the codexes.
Yep, I thought you might say that. A little bit biased. Chaos Space Marines. We've had the Gene Stealer Cults, Sisters of Battle, Depths Custodians.
A new Soul Blight book. That would be cool.
Actually, the best.
That would be
faction
very
40K.
cool.
But at least they're green.
They are green. So loads of really, really fun stuff. And
Chef,
we've got
no
plenty more to
problem.
come. We've also had a couple of things for narrative play. We've had the Pariah
Here
Nexus.
here's
Crusade
hoping
book,
for Russ.
which has been really fun as well. An opportunity to go back and see
Orcs
what
would be
Simon's
great
been
to
up
see.
to,
Demon
in
Ranger,
that
I
part of,
agree.
the
I
40K
agree.
universe.
Yeah, fantastic. Building out that war zone and giving people something to sort of sink their teeth into from a campaign and narrative perspective is great.
Yeah, and we also then picked that up with the latest match play mission deck as well, also set in the Pariah Nexus. It's been really good fun kind of exploring different bits of the kind of 40k universe through the different lenses.
Fantastic. So that's sort of the year that's been. What about the end of 2024? What can we expect to see?
Yeah, so I think Blood Angels.
Right.
So the second best angels, maybe.
Yeah, absolutely.
So they get their time in the sun between now and Christmas. Lots of really exciting new releases for them. And then it really kicks off in the new year with all kinds of exciting things.
So before we dive into the new year, one of the things I've always loved about the Blood Angels is they just look incredible, right? I think from a visual perspective, maybe the most attractive Warhammer 40,000 army there
They
is.
are-
And there's incredible releases sort of coming out alongside this.
I disagree with
What's
everything he
exciting
is
about
saying
Blood
right
Angels
now.
for you in this release?
Yeah, so I think one of the really, really cool things, you touched on it there a little bit, they're
They're not the most incredible looking thing right now.
Black and gold, the three kind of different ways, I guess, of showing the Blood Angels.
Yeah.
So we've got a bunch of stuff that's kind of Death Company themed. We've got the sanguinary stuff as well in the gold armor.
You found the pillow
which is
for
really
sale?
visually
Oh my
striking.
god! I
Returned
think
some
you
really
can post.
favourite
I don't think you
characters.
can post
The
links in the
Nemesis
chat,
team have done a
unfortunately.
fantastic job.
You can
bringing
try,
those
but I don't know if it
really
allows
beloved
you to.
characters to life in a new way. So that's been
I
really
know
very
they're
exciting.
terrible. I don't
So
like
that
them.
sees us through to the end of the year. A little
Okay,
bit
let's
of
talk about the
tease
new year.
What comes further down the road?
Yeah, so we start off the new year with Astra Militarum.
Wow, okay.
With the
Okay.
Death Corps.
So Death Corps in
so people
the
have
first of
seen
the year.
The infantry unit that was released via Kill Team.
Yeah, absolutely.
We get to round that out with a full Death Corps release.
A full Death Corps
super
release.
exciting.
That is going to be amazing.
Really, really good. Yeah, I think they're like a
I am
fan-favourite
looking
regiment.
forward to that.
I think most people have like a favourite Astra Militarum regiment. We know that the Death Corps are really popular, so that'll be very exciting. We're going to follow that up with some Eldari launches.
Wow.
Okay,
rounding out
Eldari.
Some of the Aspect Warriors.
Rounding out some of the
some new
Aspect
squads for those,
Warriors, so that's
really
good to
cool.
hear.
And then some really exciting stuff on the horizon after that for the Forces of Chaos.
That sounds incredible.
Chaos.
What a
So
brilliant way to sort of finish
no
off
word on the
2024 and then
Space
kick off
Wolves.
2025 with an enormous bang.
For sure. I mean, Astra Militarum and Eldari,
Interesting.
two of the probably the most popular factions in 40k. So yeah, really good start to next year.
Long-awaited things that people can be really excited about. But
Oh, yes.
that's really great to have you come and join us. And tell
Okay,
us a little
so
bit about the
Chaos
future
is
and sort of
likely
flesh out that
to
roadmap for us, Stu.
be
Thank you very much.
Emperor's
As
Children
for
would
the
be
rest
my
of you, stay right there. We're gonna come
expectation
back
there.
with news from the Age of Darkness and the Horus Heresy.
So yeah, okay.
Now
Okay,
it is my pleasure to welcome Andy
Death Corps
Horus,
Creed,
Lord of the Horus Heresy
full
from the
release,
Warhammer
loving
studio
that.
team who deals with
Eldari,
the Age of Darkness
love
and
that.
Legions Imperialis.
And then
Welcome.
Thank you very
Chaos,
much,
which I'm
Adam. It's
expecting
good
is
to
going to be
see you.
Emperor's
Yeah,
Children.
pleasure. It's really nice to have you here.
It's definitely going to be Emperor's Children. Like, what else? What else would they focus on right now?
We saw the Age of Darkness.
I mean, I guess it could be
about
Word
2 years
Bearers,
ago
but I
now.
feel like it's
Summer
going to be
22.
Emperor's
Wow,
Children.
yeah.
What a time has flown by. And what's that been like for you and your team?
It's been a crazy ride, obviously. So we.
I
came
feel
out
like
of the gate
Thousand
with
Sons
a
are
big box
still-
set with
like, their
loads of cool
models are
stuff
still
in it. We
fine.
did new Mark 6 Space Marines.
Painted a lot of those.
I've painted many of them myself. Yeah, we did.
All right, well, we're
upgrade
into
sets to
Horus
turn them
Heresy. Let's see
into
what they got
heavy
for us
support
now.
Squads, special weapon squads, all of that sort of thing. Veteran squads. You can make loads of stuff out of all of those upgrades. We came out with loads of tanks. Because
Oh,
we
Ryan,
already
I'm so
had the
sorry.
designs in resin, so
Maybe
the
at the
same
next
designers got
one.
to make them again in plastic.
Maybe
We also
after
had
maybe
some
after
of those.
Fulgrim.
And then since
You know
then,
what?
we brought
Actually,
out
that's
Mark
probably
6 Assault
accurate.
Marine,
Well,
and
no,
then
'cause he was
the really
chasing,
exciting
Magnus,
thing,
actually,
we get
so
to
maybe not.
expand into more
Might still be
factions.
appropriate,
So,
but-
first of all, the first wave of Solar Auxilia, more of those coming down the line, and then
Mechanicum, which is the next big.
You know, that's true. They could be fleshing out
happening
Vashtor
right now, isn't it? We're seeing the first of
with
the
some Dark
Mechanicum in
Mechanicus.
plastic.
That's absolutely
I
right.
feel
So
like it's probably going to be
initially, we're
Fulgrim,
taking
though.
that dive into
I feel like people have been, like,
Space Marines, giving
desperate.
people a really good selection so they can start
Like,
their journey
craving.
in plastic. And then we decided to
With Slaneshian
broaden
Ecstasy.
that offering, because the more factions you have in
The
game, the more
Emperor's
people you can
Children
draw into it, the more
for
variety
too
you
long.
can get.
The more excuses you have to buy.
Everybody's been
stuff.
blue balled for
Exactly.
just
The
too long.
lure
It's
is quite
finally
strong.
time
And
for everybody
from a
to be able to
narrative point of
release.
view, the Mechanicum offers something quite rich, and you've got the Martian Civil War playing out, right?
That's right. You've got a completely different type of army to Space Marines with the Mechanicum. We sometimes like to sort of compare them to fantasy tropes, if you like. The Mechanicum, we very much think of.
I was
like
so
a sort of
distracted by
undead
being a
army,
pervert that I
essentially.
hadn't seen the
You've got
beautiful
these,
Mechanicus on screen.
very sort of arcane, mysterious characters ruling.
That
and they're a
Magos
little bit
looked
like
amazing.
necromancers raising up the
Oh
hordes
my
of-
god,
of
he's
vile
so
wet
sick.
undead.
Yeah, there's something really disturbing about the sort of that flesh and machine melding. You can see that. Sort
Are
of
these ones out,
connection to
or
them.
are they coming up?
Be alive anymore? Yeah.
Particularly because you've got different troop types within that army. So you can have hordes of tech thralls, for example, if you want to go for that shambling zombie horde style army.
Oh
Or
my
you
god,
can
Dark
have,
Votan would be
lots of
amazing. Could you
robots,
imagine?
Lots of automata for more of a sort of dry undead sort of feel. But the Magi are always these characters that are coordinating the whole thing. They're using their cyberthergic spells, essentially, to sort of control them and focus them in battle. So it plays completely differently to a Space Marine army, but it also offers lots of different play styles. You can go for hordes, you can go for elites, you can go for
Okay, most
big
of the Mechanicum
constructs,
they're showing
heavy
are out.
weapons,
Okay, that makes
a whole lot.
sense. I
It's a really
thought
lovely
they were. I
addition
knew
to
the
Age
big
of
boys
Darkness
were, but I
and,
couldn't remember
something
if
very
like that
exciting for people to
Magos
sink their teeth
was.
into. So that's happening now.
Yep.
People probably can see them, in their local Warhammer stores or hobby centers.
Oh, he literally answered it for us as well.
What's next on the horizon for the Horus Heresy setting, be that Age of Darkness or Legions Imperialis?
So specifically for Age of Darkness, first of all, we will carry on our journey into the core Space Marine range. There'll be plenty more coming out for that. Hopefully quite soon there'll be a melee weapon set.
The long-awaited.
The long-awaited melee set, which we've mentioned in some roadmaps in the past. We're probably almost ready to show those, I'd have thought. Much awaited. Yeah. There'll be more Space Marine stuff, more core Space Marine stuff. Longer term, we'll start diving into the individual legions in plastic as well. But for the foreseeable future, it's still the core stuff because there's an awful lot there to do. There'll be subsequent waves of Solar Auxilia and of Mechanicum as well. So we'll carry on broadening each of those factions for a little while.
Okay.
Yet.
That's incredible. It feels like you're sort of just getting started, really.
I feel like we got
It's
really generic
quite
answers
funny,
there.
after
We're going to expand
12 years
everything that
or
we
so
have
of
already,
doing
and
the Age of Darkness setting,
we're going to be focusing
previously
on
with Forge
core
World, and then
Space
a couple of
Marines,
years doing
and
it with-
eventually down
in
the
the
line
plastic
we'll
range.
go into the
It's
various factions of Marines. But for
starting
right
to
now,
mature,
there's a lot of
really.
core
So, yeah,
stuff to
when
go
we get
through.
into the
So,
Legion-specific stuff down the line, that will
cool,
be the real-
vague, generic,
the real
no
awakening,
details.
definitely.
That sounds amazing.
Thanks,
What can you tell
Games
us
Workshop.
about future releases for
What?
Legions Imperialis?
Legions Imperialis is a great range.
I get a
It's
little
in
upset
plastic,
when they're like,
and most of it is
we're going to
drawing
make a
off
big
of
deal about giving you a
vehicles
roadmap, and then we're going to
unit
tell
types that we
you
already know
actually
about
jack shit.
for the Age of Darkness game. So it's definitely our ambition long term that anything that we make for the full scale Age of Darkness game, we would also make at epic scale for the Legions Imperialis game. That
You think
gives us an
Space Marine or
enormous
Space
amount
Wolves
of
are going to
stuff
get
to
renewed
explore,
at
so
the
we're
end
likely
of the
to be doing that
edition?
for many years yet. There's a huge
I
amount
could
of
see
space.
that.
We came out the gate with a core Space Marine and a Solar Auxilia range, so obviously we want to carry on expanding that, but there's other factions to explore. There's Mechanicum, there's Custodes, there's Sisters of Silence, there's a whole load
Sisters
of
of
stuff that
Silence
we
would
could
be
do in
cool.
the future as we come to it, but it's a big job of work initially to fill out the Space Marine range and the Solar Auxilia range, so that's what we'll be doing for the next few years.
Awesome. That sounds great. Well, look, it's been lovely having you come and join us and sort of inform us on what's happened and is happening for the future of the Age of Darkness and Legions Imperialis. Thank you, Andy. Up next, we're going to the World of Legend with the Warhammer Old World team.
Yes, the epic scale one is still going. And apparently they plan on expanding the Solar Auxiliaris. Oh my god, I can't say it. And the Space Marine.
All of the rules and the lore for the Old World
And
game.
the Space
It's lovely
Marine
to have you with
range
us.
Thanks for having me.
for the next
My
couple of
pleasure.
years.
It's been an
Again,
amazing
another
year for
vague,
Warhammer
generic
Old World.
answer.
We've seen this renaissance of a system and a setting that I particularly love. How have you found it so far?
It's been wonderful to welcome everybody back to the World of Legend. It's one of our most sort of beloved IPs, and it's something that we as a team have really, really enjoyed delving back into.
Yeah, absolutely. So since
I'm offended that he's not wearing
what have we seen
a
so
Old
far?
World
What have people
shirt
been able to get
when
involved
saying
with?
that.
So we've seen the release of the core game, and alongside that, we had our launch boxes for the Bretonians and the Tomb Kings, which went out really well. They were very popular, and people were really excited by the content. We followed that up with the Orc and Goblin Tribes, the Arcane Journal format, and again, the content in there people seem to be really, really resonating with. So
Yeah, no, I agree. I
And
do
then
legitimately
we
feel like they
just
said
recently
absolutely
had
nothing
the
about
Border
Horus
Mountain Horde
Heresy. They
project.
were like, yeah, we're
For
going to
me,
continue
I'm
doing
super
things.
excited
We're
by
going to
those. Some of
continue
the,
building out
miniatures
these
in
ranges,
Warhammer
and
Warframes are amongst my
we're going to
favourites.
give you
They're
no
actually the first
specifics
miniatures
whatsoever.
I ever
Absolutely
bought
not.
From
Really?
Games Workshop way back in the day, a tiny little Adam with hair and
Like-
no beard.
That's fantastic.
Wandering into a Games
Darren,
Workshop
I am
store to
doing
buy
great.
a
Hope
dwarf.
you are
So
as well.
Delightful to see. What have you been doing yourself? Come on, have you dipped
I
your toe in?
agree.
What
These
do you
all
like?
of these
Absolutely.
roadmaps have
I
been
mean,
feeling
when you
extremely
work
light
at
on
Games
like
Workshop and at Warhammer World especially.
in the fact that
it's
we
hard
haven't
not to.
actually seen
So
a
I've been building
roadmap.
up an Orc and Goblin
In the past, they
Tribes
used to
army,
actually
yes.
pull up like
Lots of bits for
a
nomadic
visual
war in
aid
particular. I just love
that's
the
like
idea of these Orc and
breaking
Goblins
things
mounting
down,
up
and
and
we're
racing
not
off to
getting
go
that
and
for
raid and
any of
pillage
these
Bretonian
this
farms
time.
and
It's an interesting
places in
choice.
the Border Princes and then racing off again with all their loot.
Those turnip farmers don't know what's coming.
They really don't.
I love it. That sounds amazing. So we've had lots of great stuff in 2024 already. What can we expect to see before the end of the year?
Well, hot on the heels of the Dwarf launch, we have the Warriors of Chaos.
Warriors
making
of
their return
Chaos,
to the old world.
woo!
We're in an interesting time period in the setting at the moment where Chaos has been waning in power a little bit, but with the rise of a certain Everchosen and that
Yeah,
that
zero
doom approaching,
infographics. Like,
Chaos is
I
on
don't
the
know
rise
if that's
again,
just
and
because
we
they're
begin to cover
trying
that
to
in the Chaos
be
Arcane Journal.
That's very exciting.
like they
We're
don't.
on
They're
the
like, we
approach
don't
from
actually
a
know if we're going to get
historical
this
point of
stuff
view to a
out when
very
we think we're
exciting
going to get
time
it
in
out. So let's
Warhammer,
not give them
sort
any
of setting in
concrete dates or
chronology.
anything, or even any
Absolutely.
visual
The
aids,
Siege of
no
Prague
infographics
and the
whatsoever,
battles around
with any
Kislev
sort of details
mark some
that
of
they
the
can
most
point at and go,
important
"Hey, but you
points
said you were
in
going to
this
do it at
period.
this time.
But we've got a lot of
You said
distance to
you
cover
said
before
you
we
said
reach that
you printed it
climactic
here."
It's a way off yet. But you
And they're
can
like,
see
we
it
can't
on
let
the
them be
stay on the
pedantic
line.
and actually
Absolutely.
use
As
our
I say,
own
we've got so many
information that
events
we've
to cover,
provided
and
to them
as
against
anybody who's
us
been following
when we
the
failed
narrative in the
to,
Arcane
you know, get
Journals
things
will
out when
see that
we
we've been
want
sort of
us
jumping all over
when
the
we
place,
said that
so
we
really
would. So.
enjoying the sandpit of this
Although,
time
you know, to
period
be
we
fair,
have
like
to
Games
look
Workshop
at.
isn't normally
exciting.
that bad
So
about
Chaos
that. Normally
Warriors
when they
in
say, hey, we're going to do
2024,
this thing,
if we
it's
look
going to
a
happen
little
when they
bit further
do.
out, sort of
Like,
beyond
there's
the
been very
horizon, as it
few
were,
things I
what can you
can
tell us
actually
about
think
what the
of that,
future
like,
holds?
Well, it would
failed
be
to
improper,
release
really,
properly,
for us
but,
to follow
like,
the Warriors of Chaos with anything
I don't know.
other
I
than
just-
the Empire of Magic.
I do think it allows for
The
flexibility
two
on their
have been
part, but I don't know if I
foes for as long as
agree
Warhammer's
with
been
that
around. So,
level
again,
of
it just made absolute sense for the Empire to follow up.
opacity on
Sounds
like
so
when they're
exciting.
actually coming
The
out
old
with
world setting just
things.
continues to,
I'd rather
something
have more
new for a system that
transparency
so
is
many of us
basically
love
what I'm trying to
enjoy.
say.
It's been really exciting having you come and join us, Dan.
Thank you for
Thanks for
having
taking
me.
the time. Some amazing stuff.
I know,
in the
it's
studios
so
about
vague,
Warhammer
like,
40,000,
it's-
Warhammer Age of Sigmar.
It honestly,
Age of
it makes it
Darkness,
feel
and
like they
the Old
didn't
World.
actually
But we've
have
also got loads
enough
on the way for
information
our
during
other
the Nova
systems.
Open to
Necromunda.
talk about.
Hive Secundus took us underground with the terrifying Gene Stealer cult. Expect to see another faction release this year, and further into the future, we'll be looking at other factions to add. Kill Team. The big news is
Again!
Hivestorm, the new edition.
We're
of
gonna.
Kill Team.
Oh my god!
We're looking forward to seeing people get hold of the new rules. Going into the new year, we'll continue to release kill teams and box sets to add more scenery and locations to your games. Underworlds. Plenty happening here. Before the end of 2024, you'll see new warbands being released. And in 2025, we'll continue to build up those factions. Warcry.
If they tell me that they're going to
Baron,
release new
which we know the
war
community's been
band
waiting
and
to
or
get their
name
hands on.
here, and we'll continue to see new
Blood
factions
Bowl. This year has
released,
seen some great
I'm
teams
going to
released,
flip a table.
including our favourites, the Gnomes. Everybody loves a Badger. We've also just
the Badger
revealed
is
the Chaos
great.
Dwarf team coming to Blood Bowl very soon, and there's plenty more in 2025. Well, we've got time for one more reveal, and it's something very precious that I'm incredibly excited about.
Okay.
And I hope you will be too.
This
Before
better
I
be
leave you,
amazing.
remember, if you want to stay up
Because
to date
those
with the
timelines
latest
were
Warhammer
bullshit.
news, head over to warhammercommunity.com. Now, let's see that extra special final reveal.
Oh! Okay. All right. Oh, he looks cool. I have no idea who that is, but he looks cool. All right, so we got a single character reveal for Lord of the Rings, not the box set reveal, just a single character. But Wow, that was okay. Legitimately, the timelines, like the actual the argument that they were giving us roadmaps for these various systems, I call absolute bullshit on, because they legitimately did not actually give us any roadmaps. They're like, yes, in 2024, you're gonna see those things we just showed you, because those are the last things coming out in 2024. And then in 2025, guess what, guys? New factions for all those games that you love are coming out. Are we gonna tell you, even remotely, what any of those are? Fuck no. Why would we do that? War Games Workshop. We're just gonna blue balls you the whole time. Like, what the heck? Also, no cheerleaders. What the hell? I was prepared for cheerleaders. It's fine. I wasn't actually expecting cheerleaders, but legitimately, I am actually kind of upset at them for how mediocre that was. Like, the miniatures were all cool to see. All of the miniatures were great to see. Loved getting a new Blood Bowl team. Chaos Dwarfs is very exciting. Loved seeing all the new Stormcast Eternal. That was also very cool. But I don't feel like the most that we got in regards to actual legitimate roadmap was for Age of Sigmar and Warhammer 40k, because at least we know that there's like a Chaos Tomb coming, or Battle Tome coming out soon. We have the releases for the Skaven and Stormcast Eternal that just happened, etc. And then, of course, for 40k, they did reveal to us that we're going to be getting the Death Core of Krieg. We're going to be getting new Aldari releases, including them rounding out the Aspect Warriors, which is very exciting to hear. And that we're also going to be getting something for Chaos, sounding like in the middle of the year. Which I, again, still expect to be Emperor's Children, but they did not actually specifically say that, so they kind of still also left that vague. But that is the most detailed we got. And I legitimately think that is kind of nonsense. Like, especially when we got to, like, Underworld's Warcry, Kill Team, etc., where they were just like, don't worry, guys, more factions will be coming. Insert this particular game's name for army. You'll be getting more of those in varieties and different styles as the year goes on. And it's like, okay, yeah, great, thanks. That actually tells us nothing. I just, like, that was so weird. That was super duper weird. Like, overall, though, again, the miniatures looked really cool. I wonder, I'm checking to see if they, I hit the wrong button. Do you have pictures of the reveals up? Nope. Nope. Yep, here they are. Like, the Stormcast Eternal look rad. I love this guy. His big winged, is it a hippogriff? Atop, a Morgriff. Of course.
Like a griff, but more.
Of course, a griff, but more. A Morgriff. I love the Morgriff. I think the Morgriff is really cool. This also is a cool Morgriff. Like, I love these models. But, God, the roadmap sucked. Demon Ranger, I am very glad to hear that. I am very glad that I was able to make the preview a little bit better for you. I'm just really disappointed with how little, like, Games Workshop notoriously hates giving out concrete information or dates on anything anyways, but I feel like in the past they used to at least tell us, hey, here is the actual codex layout, and they would give us an infograph that would be like, Blood Angels, Space Wolves, Dark Angels, Astra Militarum, Eldari, etc. And it would like do that. Or if they didn't want to be as specific because they wanted to be, you know, we're gonna surprise them real good with this one, boys. They'll go like, oh, we're gonna do an Order battle tome. We're gonna do a Chaos battle tome, and then we're gonna do fuck, I forgot the other two name. Death, and then like what is the Order, Chaos, Death? Destruction. Thank you. I was like, what are the orcs under? Like a Destruction battle tome. And like at least they would give you that so that then we could have fun at least speculating on which of the Order battle tomes we might be getting. But now it's just like, I don't know, that was the vaguest booking of future content I have ever heard from Games Workshop, and I am legitimately displeased with, like, that presentation. I also, was that a half an hour long show?
Yeah.
Holy shit, what? I mean, they actually started early. It started at like 5:55 or something like that is when I think Adam is his name, popped onto the screen. But like, holy cow, a half an hour? No wonder it felt like we got absolutely zero information. Because we did. They had a half an hour. What are they doing? Is it just because like there was 2 a.m. or something for the British? Is that why? Is that why they kept it so short? They were like, it's super early in the morning for all of our like kinsmen back home. Let's just end this. I'm excited about these Stormstrike Paladors. I love this color scheme. Oh my god, look at this teal bastard. Holy shit, that's amazing. I love it. But genuinely, I think these guys look rad. I do legitimately want a unit of these just to paint, because I think the Griffins are sick. I assume they're Griffins? I don't know. They don't actually say. Shock Cavalry. Nope, they don't tell me what the mount's called. Does it say here? Nope. Why would I want to know that? I don't, clearly. I do really like this. I think the terrain piece is neat. Is it actually curved inwards? I hope so. I hope that's not just like a flat panel. I hope it actually what is it, concaves? Is it concaving inwards? But like, okay, yeah. Okay, so yeah, I hope it actually concaves a little bit in its shape rather than being a flat piece of plastic, because I think that would be, like, I know they can't do like a full-on portal or anything like that, but at least it would allow that swirl effect to be... I wonder if the swirl effect is sculpted, actually. I can't tell. I can't tell if that lightning is three-dimensional or not. I think it might be three-dimensional. Interesting. I want to paint it green like it's corrupted by warp energy. And the Skaven have just like, they're like, we're actually coming out of this now. Screw you. Wouldn't that just be amazing? Oh my god, little Skaven symbols hanging off of everything. And oh, we can replace the top with a bell. I need them to give me Skaven terrain really badly, actually. Yeah, I think you're right. I think it's very sculpted. Like, looking at it in more detail. At first, I thought it was just, like, some really top-notch shadowing of the lightning bolts. But no, it definitely looks like it's sculpted. Which is, it's actually very cool. I don't know if I, like, fully agree with the pattern that the lightning makes down here, the more that I look at it. But I really like what it's doing up here. This works for me. This is a little weird looking, but I like this. Anyways, I want to make it green and make it look like the Skaven are coming out of it. Yeah, it's like, it's just such a, it was a weirdly short stream. I'm very surprised by that. I mean, again, I don't dislike the new approach that they're taking with the streams. I like the more, like, honestly put together and to the point presentations. But I would actually like real legitimate information at some of these things. Like, that would be nice. On top of seeing cool, like, it's not like, it's great to see, like, I know that 90% of the people who go to these streams, we're all there majority for seeing the new miniatures, right? Like, we all want to see the cool new minis. Speaking of which, we should check out, here they are. Oh, look at this. Look at these little bastards. God, they're so good. We all want to see the new miniatures. I get that. We love looking at the new miniatures. I love looking at the new miniatures. I love squealing over beautiful, beautiful plastic crack. But I do also legitimately like knowing about what's to come so that I can actually budget around buying this luxury product they're trying to sell me. And I feel like since, honestly, like 2020, we've seen a decline of them being straightforward with us, which they never really were, to be clear. They never really were that straightforward to begin with, even prior to like the lockdown and the changes in like the explosion of their popularity and them going, holy shit, how do we deal with this? So like it's not like they've really changed that much, but they've gotten so much more secretive. And I hate when I see companies as they scale up in revenue as well as popularity and just like global like awareness, like they become more known by the global public, that they all just start to like stop talking about things that are going on that used to be relevant to their players, because this is a game company, as well as like just them actually connecting with their community a bit more. It's just, I just feel like they're losing their connection with us a little bit whenever they start hiding information and not wanting to be more upfront with us. It's a little disappointing. But look at those beautiful Chaos Dwarves. They're delightful. They look great. I can't wait for my Blood Bowl League to start. I'm very, very excited for it. The vampires are coming along. I am going to be priming some more of them tomorrow, on top of doing some other filming. I've been using washi tape to cover up all the slots on their bases because for some reason, Games Workshop apparently just ordered an absolute ass ton of these bases back in whenever, and they are still using them. Even though they do not make the slotted, like they don't make any modern Blood Bowl miniatures with the slots on them, as far as I'm aware. I think some of their older kits still have them, of course, but like the newer ones, like the vampires, the necromantic horrors, etc., I don't think they had the slots. Although the bases still had it, so you just have to cover them. It's fine. You know, actually, now that I say that, there might have been, the necromantic horrors may have had them because the ghost had like one connection point, and that may have been on a slot base. But it's so weird because the vampires do not have the slots, but they came with the slotted bases. They ordered way too many of them. They refused to buy new ones ever. Okay, well, I think that is going to be it for me tonight. A little bit of a shorter stream, but I appreciate you guys hanging out with me. Hopefully, despite the lack of information from Games Workshop about actual timelines for products coming out, we at least got to enjoy some lovely looking new miniatures, and hopefully that was good enough for you. Oh, they have actual visual roadmaps? Have they put some up? Let's take a look. Let's refresh the page. Find out more. All right. Hey! Okay, hold on. All right, so here's our roadmap for 2024. This is the most useless roadmap because it doesn't actually, like, they're not even saying, okay, yeah, cool, this is what we've gotten already. That's worthless in a roadmap for future product. Great, thanks, GW. Weird thing for them to spend time on also in the stream. I mean, I guess they were just like killing time for their 30-minute stream, but whatever. So this like basically ignore from this skull over, ignore all of that. Like on all where we are, where chat is, and where I am, ignore that side of the screen. All you really care about is you're getting Astra Militarum with Deathcore Krieg in 2025, along with the Aldari, along with Imperial Knights. Did they even say that? Did they say Imperial Knights in the stream? Did I miss that completely? Also, this irritates me. Plus, more codexes. Big names! Special chaos treat.
Tell us how you really feel.
I am angry. Okay, so that's our 40K preview. Let's see what our Age of Sigmar one looks like. Is that at the very bottom of this page? Okay, here we go. Open image in new tab. Okay, so it looks like in 2025, everybody, this is going to come as a huge shock to you. I bet this is completely unexpected. You are never going to guess what they're doing in 2025 for Age of Sigmar. All of the factions are going to see something. Order, chaos, destruction, death.
Goodness.
What a bunch of worthless information. Okay, duh. Yeah, thanks. You're a game company. I would expect that. Thank you. The Pistols Panda, thank you for subscribing to the channel. It's lovely to have you here. I don't remember them saying anything about Imperial Knights either. So maybe the chaos was meant to be Chaos Knights. You know what? Maybe that's right. Maybe that is what they meant. Okay, I'm glad you also, all of you guys also did not hear them say anything about it. Okay, so then we've got Spearhead, Destruction with the Orcs, War Clans, and Gloom. Okay, so at least that is specifics. That's awesome. That is the most specific thing we've seen in the roadmap so far. And then more to be announced for Death. Okay, cool. So still pretty worthless in regards to a roadmap, at least slightly better information. Let's see what they actually say about Horus Heresy. Still to come, more Mechanicus. And then into 2025, something new every month. Still kind of vague. Oh my gosh, tanks. Well, sure, yeah, because there's lots of tanks in Horus Heresy, so that makes sense. Still kind of vague, although I don't know if these are specific, like ones that they haven't already converted into plastic, so maybe these are a specific hint for those of you that are more familiar with Horus Heresy, so I'll at least give them that, kind of, in regards to a visual. And then they just say more Imperial Legionalis, which is, again, this is what they said in the thing of like, and we're going to bring more factions. We're going to still continue to focus on the Astra Militarum and, that's not what they're called in this, and the Space Marines because, well, they're large factions and there's lots of units to make for them. So, okay, still pretty much worthless. And then finally for Old World. Ooh, okay, this is also giving us a little bit more information. So in 2025, it looks like we're getting Empire of Man. I'm so hyped for that. I genuinely did not expect to get the Empire back. I will be buying that set. Also, High Elves. Very cool to see. I can't wait for the Dark Elves to come out, though. That's the one I'm more interested in of the Elf factions. And then a generic more factions. Yes! Army boxes, heroes, plastic, metal, resin. Cool. So the same stuff that they've been doing. Why didn't they have these in their, like, why did they show us Adam's face instead of just showing us these when they were going through the, like, the end thing where they were being really vague and generic and not actually giving any information? Because at least this would have made it feel, because it's so much text, because they spend so much time in each and every one of these describing what's already come out this year, as if we weren't aware, because we haven't been following them this entire year. They put so much information here and so much visual clutter to sort of distract you from the fact that this gives you very little information. But at least it would have been, like, distracting enough that I would have probably been less pissed off at getting no actual information from the words that were being said by the host about what's coming. But you know what? At least this is a little bit more. I will give them that it's a little bit more, but I feel like this should have been part of the presentation. I feel like these roadmap infographics should have actually been somewhere in their presentation during the actual stream to give us something to, like, crunch over. Because it was legitimately, like, I really felt like I was being, like, told nothing for the last 10 minutes of the stream because they didn't actually say anything about anything coming out. I am very excited for the Empire. Yes. That should be really good. Karl Franz, finally. For Prince and Emperor. Are you playing Prince and Emperor right now, actually? Yes. See, he's a good man. He's playing the Empire. We're going to buy them when they come out in 2025 at some point. Will it be, like, what would be really funny? I would be so angry, but I would also probably secretly applaud Games Workshop if they did this. But if they didn't bring out Empire of Man and the High Elves until the end of 2025, as a big fuck you to everybody in this, to be like, yeah, we gave you some information, but we didn't tell you when it was coming out. They wouldn't actually do that. That would actually be very, very bad for their reputation. But it would be kind of a funny troll move. And because I'm feeling very aggressive towards them, I am willing to take it back in the same way. Wait, they were regulated to a PDF army for no reason? Why? Is it because of the daughter of Cain's? Is it because the daughters of Cain exist in Age of Sigmar and they didn't want to, like, confuse people? I don't believe that's going to remain. Like, legitimately, I don't believe that's going to remain because I feel like at the very beginning of when the Bretonnians and Tomb Kings were first announced and they were talking about them, but they didn't, like, have any real solid concrete anything for us to see. They had, like, made a mention or, like, said in an article or something that the Empire wasn't going to be coming at all because you have the cities of Sigmar and they didn't want to overlap with the Age of Sigmar armies for confusion reasons. And now we're getting Empire of Man. So hopefully they rescind that. You know what? Maybe that is what it is. Maybe they're saving them for, like, second edition of Old World. That's so dumb. But you know what? If they eventually come out, that's fine. That's all I'm looking for. I just want them all to exist how they existed. That's all I want. That's all anybody wants when it comes to fantasy battles. I like how they call it Legends. When they were referring to it in the stream itself, they were like, "Oh yes, the world of legends." I know it's like, or the age of legends. I know that's, like, I think how they refer to it because, like, technically, like, this, like, all these people existed in Age of Sigmar lore.
They got resurrected.
Yeah, a lot of them got, like, resurrected or, like, I mean, that's why Marathi's still around, right? And various other people. I know there's, like, a number of them that all still have their same names and everything. So it's, like, it's just very confusing. But yeah, okay. At least we got kind of infographics with slightly more information than they gave us on the stream. And we got to see some cool minis. So I'm feeling a little bit more satisfied than I was previously. I'm still a little angry at them for a weirdly short stream, but whatever. We're cool. I am going to probably go take a walk and then eat something because I'm a little peckish. And yeah, I hope you guys have a wonderful hobby night. I have been Angela, and I'll see you all next time. Bye, everybody.